Dr. Huebner here with Car Muscle and Joint Clinic, and today we're going to be talking about the peroneus longus and peroneus brevis muscles. There is a tertiary one, but won't be covering that today. That'll be in a later video. So these muscles I find tend to be overlooked with exercise, and specifically squatting and running, and their importance in squatting and running. So I'm going to kind of cover that today. So I'll give you a better visual representation of the anatomy and where they originate and where they insert here soon, but just for the sake of showing you on an actual model here. So this is the outside of the foot, this is the inside of the foot, and these muscles, as I'll talk about later, do evert and plantar flex the foot. So why that's important for squatting is there's ground reactive forces as you're pushing on the ground with the squat. Those send feedback through these muscles, and various other muscles send feedback to the knee, to the hip, and will actually change the way you load that knee and hip. So it helps with stability, gets you in a better position, and if you're more aware of these muscles and you're strengthening them and rolling them out or stretching them, there's a ton of different manual therapy you can do for this, but I'll kind of give the basics here. So that can be really important with squatting. And then with running, it's a similar thing. So the peroneus brevis is the more active muscle when running. So when slow running or jogging, you tend to heel strike and push off more towards the outside of the foot, versus when you start to speed up, that peroneus brevis will actually slightly evert the foot and it's called the transverse axis, and actually put the force and the propulsion period of the run through the bottom of that big toe here, or in this area. So that's important because it actually, running through that transverse axis is actually more efficient and provides a stronger propulsion period and actually can make you faster. So that's the importance of these two muscles, and we'll kind of dive into the anatomy of a little bit, where they originate, where they insert, and that'll kind of help you guys better understand, especially when you're doing exercises to target these muscles. Knowing where they are and their action is, I think, really important for that. So stay tuned. All right, guys, so we're going to cover the peroneus longus and peroneus brevis muscles here. So as I talked about before, they're on the outside of the leg here, and their actions are eversion and plantar flexion of the foot at the ankle joint. So starting with the peroneus longus here, you can see comes down and attaches to the arch of the foot, or the base of the first metatarsal, and that's going to be important for supporting that medial arch, but I'll have another video talking about the importance of that later. And then the peroneus brevis here attaches to the base of the fifth metatarsal. So the purpose of doing this was just to show you guys kind of where they're at and give you a better representation of where they're at, so it's easier to, when we give you exercises or stretching exercises or foam rolling or taking a lacrosse ball to the bottom of the foot, you have a better idea of where those are located, so that makes that easier for you guys. So now let's dive into what those exercises are and how you can stretch these muscles, foam roll them, etc. So let's dive in. All right, so we're going to start with foam rolling of the peroneal muscles. So you're going to bend that knee and kind of find the tibia, and then move your way over to the fibula bone. And what you're going to do is you're going to kind of just roll up and down those muscle bellies. And I see as I rotate myself laterally how I'm getting on top of those muscle bellies, and I'm using my back knee to anchor my ankle so it doesn't move too much during this movement. So this next one is a banded calf stretch. So you can do this standing as well, but I like to do it with the band because I can kind of control the resistance. And I do 30 seconds, a break, 30 seconds, then I'll switch feet and do the same thing. So give these a try. This next one is banded or resisted eversion of the ankle. So it's one of the main actions of the peroneal muscles again. So if this is painful at all, do it bandless. If it's too easy, you can increase the resistance of the band by stretching it further or using a different color band that has more resistance on it. So give these a try. The next exercise here is toe to heel raises, or heel to toe raises. These are great. Main action of the muscles is plantar flexion, so these are good for training that. And the toe raises give a good stretch on that muscle.